Welcome to Portsea Mixed Tea. Hope you're all well. Another fantastic day here with the sun shining. It does make you get this wonderful feeling inside when the sun is shining. So let me start by saying welcome again and thank you for being here. And let me start by saying, so is it just me? And today I want to start with a poem. And it's just called Cost of Living a Kilway. And it goes like this. Me say the cost of living a Kilway, from the rooftop to the chimney. When me look at the price for a bottle of milk, me soon turn pink. The gas price gone sky high because of man greed and not being contrite. The people in power say, do take showers so you can save power. Never mind, even though the bills get higher. Food banks popping up everywhere, cause the workers cannot afford the bills and to feed their kids. They say, never mind about the unemployed and the pensioners, they are not valuable enough. The system is like their makers, who are only takers, and decision makers present their lies and propaganda to divide. The solution is easy. Just look back in history and it is not a mystery, cause the cost of living just a kill we. I hope you enjoy that poem. I loved writing it. Um, Let me just carry on. Today, as you can see, I'm talking about the cost of living. Last time I wanted to speak more in depth on it and I didn't get a chance to. And because I wasn't well, so now here I am. So let's get cracking. And before I start, if you can like the channel and subscribe to it and share the content, it'd be fantastic and I'll be very grateful. So, last time I spoke to you, there was a variety of things that I spoke about. This week, I would like to talk more about some of the impact of that extending the pension age for people like myself who were born in the 50s and what it's had on us, the impact it has on us. Whoever thought that it was okay to extend the pension age for women born in 1950s has destroyed the backbone of this country. They did not take into account that these women, so many work part-time, many work full-time. Mostly the ones like myself, we worked part-time for a while so that we could look after our children, or we'd go from one job to another job in between school times so that we could get back home in time to do the dinner for the children. So many who, like myself, we couldn't afford childcare, so I had to do it myself. And thank God for my mom, who was a great helper. They had elderly relatives to look after. Many of them, like myself as well, still had my mom to help out. And we also kept the city centres open because whatever money we got, we went out and we spent thriftily in the shops and we kept the city centre open. When we lost our pension and the age went higher, everything in the city centre started to die because we couldn't afford no longer to go and support the city centres. So that was one of the mistakes that these so-called what how should I call them? So-called leaders didn't take into account. We also had to help our grown-up children to look after their children. Right? We would buy them their school clothes. We would give them money for school so that they had lunch. And we would ensure that, we help them with a deposit. We help our children with a deposit for their home. Or maybe if they wanted to buy a car, we'd help them out. But no, these so-called higher powers didn't think that we were the backbone of our family. Instead, what they did, they target the nurses and healthcare assistant. I myself was a nurse. Who were too busy. We were too busy to take into account all the things that was going on around us. Because if you think about it, we had to come home, look after our children. Some of us had to go to our parents' houses and help them out by tidying up for them, going and doing their shopping. And then we had to do a 8-hour shift on the ward. So they didn't think about that. To know that we were doing a lot of things. So we didn't have time to think about, oh, what was happening out there. You know, we, the majority, who allow who allowed these people to use austerity to steal our money and then start to put people in poverty, because many of the 1950s women are in severe poverty, and their children and grandchildren are, because they haven't got the finances any longer to help out their family. Ones who were fortunate enough to have a little savings and a house to fall back on soon realized that they could no longer help their family and grandchildren, because they themselves had to use the money that they get for food. And many are ended up using the food banks to survive. These people who did that was very wicked. They never thought about what they were doing to the pensioners. Yes, it was right that they wanted to increase the pension age so that men and women were equal. Fair enough. But why, when it got to the pension age, did they up it so that they also took money from the men, because the men had to work an extra year to 66? So there was something sinister about their action. It was nothing to do with austerity. It was just to line their own pockets, right? And because of that, they have put pensioners and their family in dire strait. And now, when you look, you got the economy falling down around our necks. Yes, they will say, oh, it was COVID and this and that. Yes, we had COVID. Many people were still working through COVID, even though they were doing it at home. Many was on furloughs to help out the businesses. Then they will also blame the new war that's going on over in the east. Yes. But no, it's got nothing to do with that. It's just their greed. That's my opinion. And I'm not saying that that the war doesn't have an impact. But before the war, the prices of petrol and all these things were going up. It just escalated after the war. They use that as another excuse so that they can say, yeah, we can blame something else while we take money still from people. I just think that they should never have done that, right? Because without the 1950s women helping the economy to grow, and the others people that are in work and helping the economy to grow, it's falling to bits. And when you look now, we've had three prime ministers, and I ain't got nothing to say along that lines because I'm not into politics. But I feel that had they returned the 1950s women money that they took, then the economy can start to be rebuilt, because these women would be using the money to help to build up the economy. But no, they're still adamant that they're not giving anybody in the 1950s anything. So let the good times roll for them, because the system is breaking down because of their lack of compassion. And one thing I would say, my opinion is, there's three that I've got, no, maybe four. better wages for people who are working because they're not getting enough wage, and return the 1950s women their money that is owed to them. They worked for it and paid into a system. And I would like to add, it is not a benefit. It is something that we paid into. And also that they train young people properly instead of these silly apprenticeship and all these rubbish things that they put them on, and they never get any employment at the end of it. And they want to make sure that their wages that they get for doing long hours is paid properly. So how do you stop these so-called think tanks or whatever you want to call them, all that money that they get from taxes, that these tax avoidance people and other rich companies who do not pay their workers the right wage but work them like they are some form of worse than animals, put it that way. They need to sort out these things. These are the things that need sorting out before this economy will ever come back to normal. Thank you for listening to Portsea Mixed Tea. I hope you enjoyed the, I wouldn't call it rant, the chat that I had today. I hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly did. It took something off my chest. Please subscribe to the channel if you like it, and then let me know what you think in the comment section. And I look forward to hearing from you all. So, is it just me? Or has any of these issues that I've spoken about happened to you? Thank you so much for